Hello and welcome to another Top Agent Nation Commercial Wednesday. Very exciting time and Happy New Year to everyone. Ready to get this year started. And as we talked last week, for us, it was about tax planning, learning estate planning, putting the right pieces. It's not always what you make, it's what you keep. So it was exciting to kind of have everyone think a little bit about tax planning strategies, creating a company or business, and really saving the money that you make. So the next part of this was or is your net worth, is your net work. And one thing is through friendships, being in the business now close to, I can't believe it, 30 years of doing commercial real estate, you meet so many people along the way. I always tell people, don't burn bridges, build a relationship. If you don't want to work with them, just don't say anything, just move on, because you will run into everyone over and over if you want to make commercial real estate your business. So it is exciting to share with the friends and how this pathway of building our Renaissance Global Network. I would say once you see the people, the connections, the relationships, brokerage agnostic, so it allows everyone to plug in and be a member and use the marks and really plug in to get more business. As we all know, with AI technology, when we started the business, or at least when I started the business, it's changed a tremendous amount. I know with my mentor here and my friends, this business keeps evolving. And definitely we need to evolve with the changes in real estate and commercial. And many of us that have been around know that commercial lags residential, but there definitely is a compression of time with technology and AI. And first, I'd love to invite a dear friend to speak, to share his story and journey. Finn has been around a very long time, running and been plugged into a tremendous amount of organizations. And Jeff, thank you for all your friendship, but your mentorship, your time. And I look forward to what we're all going to build and get as many people to connect and plug in as possible. Jeff, if you don't mind, introduce yourself. I know you have a great history, a great story in real estate and commercial real estate.
Thanks, Jim, and thanks everybody. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and to present to this group. Jim and I have gotten to know each other well over 12, 13 years ago now. And my background was as CEO of NAI Global, so I helped build and grow that to 55 countries around the world and the market leading network of brokerage firms around the world, and sold that company and then built a technology platform, RealNext. And in that transition between NAI and RealNext, got to know Jim, and it was just when Jim was sort of blowing up, the growth around the country and building a national platform and starting to create the EXP commercial organization. And we got to know each other. I became a part of an advisory board with Jim and worked closely with them. And one of the thoughts that we had and evolved over that time was the opportunity to sort of think about what I had done at NAI, what he was doing at EXP, thinking what we were doing at RealNext, and thinking about community and growth and how do you really connect the world and connect services and empower agents to be most productive. And most agents aren't at firms that have all of the services that they need, all of the geography that they need, all of the support that they need to help them grow and build their organization. So the idea of Renaissance was born to say, okay, if we can take sort of the best pieces of technology, the best pieces of networking, the best pieces of agent support and bring it all together, we could do something pretty interesting. So we created this idea for Renaissance Global and just launched that. So a lot of you are part of it, some of you aren't, but we'd love to have you part of it. It's an open community for agents to participate in and take advantage of tools and resources. Jim, I don't know if you want me to get into more of a presentation or just a little bit of background there, and then we'll go around again as you introduce Scott and others into the program. But
Yeah,
that's sort of just a snapshot.
and Jeff, it's I know you brought it down even smaller than a cliff note, because when you grew up in the business, when your dad started NAI before it was even NAI, then turned NAI, and I remember it was at the height, the number 4 commercial real estate firm globally, right? And the connections and relationships, and I know building NAI, growing NAI, scaling it with a lot of your partners around the world, you saw a lot of the things that needed to be done, right? Because and this is kind of your next your another bite of the apple, another way of doing it, and also how from NAI did you evolve Real Next, with Mark Kingston, and maybe you could share a little of that when
Sure.
why you're putting
It's
this all together.
It is interesting, so when NAI was born in 1980, thereabouts, it was maybe 78, it was a business plan, but 1980 it really got started. So Jim, I've got a few years on you from a tenure. I was there at the beginning. It was called New America Network. So it was a network of brokerage firms, and it wasn't a brand per se, that it wasn't a known entity. We brought together some independent, market leading independent firms around the country at first, and realized that a group could become more than individuals could become. And the individuals become greater if they were part of a group that worked together and really cooperated well. So we had the strategy much different than any other network that's out there today, and still, and that you build infrastructure into the network to manage and support and provide tools for the agents and the companies, and you can have something that is as strong as a global company, but gives the flexibility and independence that a locally owned brokerage or an independent agent desired, and had the benefit of ownership and building wealth and building value in their companies and their careers. So we had really a three-pronged approach, and the strategy that I brought to what became NEI was what really differentiated. One was branding. We realized pretty early on in our growth that it couldn't be uh, John Smith Company as part of, just as part of the network. We said you needed to become NAI John Smith Company. So building the brand in front of the company showed the world that we're working together as a team and as a unit. The second was technology and infrastructure that could be embedded across the platform to support it and enable consistency of services, as well as the provision of multi-market or global services in a coordinated way. And the third was globalization. So at the point, early days, everything we sort of, the America was America and the rest of the world was sort of fuzzy, but we had a dream and vision to build it globally, and did. So we pulled all those pieces together, tied it together, and found that particularly with technology that people didn't want it. They were sort of kicking and screaming, but those that got it realized that, hey, I can make a lot of money using this. So we found that technology for technology's sake didn't work, but when you build technology that helps people find, win, and close business faster and more efficiently and differentiate them, they'll adopt and use it well. And so we embedded technology very successfully across the platform. Branding, it sort of was a domino effect. It was hard to adopt at first, but the groups began to adopt the brand and use the brand and leverage the brand to become bigger and stronger in their markets. And when the clients went from one market to another, they thought that the company that they worked with, they thought was just a Chicago company, now was a global company. So that helped to differentiate them and position them. And then globalization, again, at first our offices thought that we should focus all of our resources at home, but we help them understand that if you're not representing your clients globally and they're doing business globally, which many were, then you're at risk of losing your business locally, because somebody else is going to provide services to them in London or Tokyo or wherever it might be, and they're going to begin to control that even when it comes back to your hometown. So that all came together and worked well. Part of what we had adopted as far as technology was uh, a suite of tools from Argus Software, and uh, that's where I got to know Mark Kingston, who was the CEO at Argus, and Mark and I and Demetrius Lygiotis, who's our and Mark is now Mark and D are both partners in RealNext. They were with Argus at the time, and we began to work together to embed the investment analysis and valuation tools that Argus had built. And they were learning and finding the same things, that the technology was harder to adopt in real estate. But when you built tools that help people make more money, that's when you win. If it looked like work, it didn't. But you know, Mark was selling. He had done a buyout of Argus and had gotten it to a global market leading position. Sold it about the same time that we sold NAI, and then got together to form RealNext in 2014. So we came together. We realized that things that I had done from a brokerage side and that he had done on the institutional side could come together, and that we could bring an end-to-end solution for the commercial real estate industry that would be very compelling and valuable. So we thought of, the best cost to value, most comprehensive service end to end, and not having redundancy of data entry across what were hundreds of silos of information that we found in the market, but a streamlined workflow, low cost of operation, low cost of subscription, and an ability to scale and deploy that both domestically and around the world would be a valuable proposition. And so that's what we built. We acquired 5 companies, brought them together, and created a platform that is now a market leading end-to-end commercial real estate platform. We've added to it recently an AI solution. So we now have an incredible AI suite of tools that provide for strategic market analysis, project analysis, marketing plans, target marketing, negotiation support, the modeling, the financial modeling, as well as social media marketing, copywriting, script writing, and a whole host of things that, unlike general AI, this is specifically trained for commercial real estate and works in tandem with RealNext to streamline the workflow and the operations. And that's not to mention the visualization tools that we've also built, and we've created an incredible platform for 3D virtual reality, aerial video tours. I would look at it from a capital raising, project zoning and approval, planning and approval process, as well as marketing and asset management tools that take visualization and help that virtual twin of your property become a tool to support the life cycle and create value. So that's sort of where we've been on that journey, Jim. And it's all coming together now as tools that we can bring together and create a platform that is open to the world through Renaissance. So we've created Renaissance as a membership-based organization that is inviting in independent agents from across all brands and around the world to become part of a platform that can provide referrals, access global services, access global markets, and tools and resources like technology and the infrastructure at RealNext and our AI platform and visualization tools, as well as training, coaching, back office support, and the alliances that we have that provide things like site location, project management, capital markets, and on and on. So a whole host of things that you expect and you could get at an institutional firm, you're now able to plug into at Renaissance to take advantage of.
And Jeff, that's incredible. And, it's the journey of all of our different paths coming together. For me, Wall Street finance. Then I went to help with the largest tick syndicator with Bob Rabati, Mark Paul with SCI. And then, looking at deals, it was all Marcus and Millichap. Cut my teeth at M&M. Actually, I was talking to a client, still friends. I always say I'm a Jewish son that we were catching up last night. And, it's just, you make friends, you build relationship with clients, you still stay connected. But from the days that I left Marcus to form BRC, which as a boutique firm, I mean, we were doing 2 billion in sales every year. It was a very powerful firm, and it was all built on friendship, cutting edge, right? Technology, culture, which people don't realize, right? We want to create the right culture for people to fit in. And from that time at BRC, got through the Great Recession. So I said, a lot of us here are war generals. You gotta have to work with a war general who led your team and group through a crisis or many crises, so you know how to handle it, you know how to keep everything together. But from there, Jeff, we talked and caught up with the franchise, with our mutual friend, Don't Burn Bridges, with now Rand Sperry selling it to Jay Oshansky, who used to, after you sold it, Jay ran NAI for you, after that group. I left Mark Hinkins, and now Jay bought it. So it all kind of goes
It's a
around.
small world.
It
Yep.
is a small world with all our friends. And I would say during that time, of Sperry, I got to meet Scott Cook, but I also invested in so many other tech. But Scott, I want to share your background because you came from a different angle than just a brokerage. And if you don't mind sharing and telling your story, and a lot of it from Iron, because it doesn't start at one place. A lot of people start from residential, going to commercial, second career, going to commercial, or I made a ton of money, I'm buying my own real estate. Hey, you know what? Might as well get the license. And that's what a lot of my clients did. So when they could earn the fee, they earned the fee when they acquired their own property and rolled in their commission. But Scott, if you don't mind sharing your background and everything you've done.
Sure. Yeah. Always a tough act to follow when it's you two. You should always let me go first, and then you guys really finish it off with the power. Yeah. Hey everyone. Yeah. I came at it from a little bit different angle. Right out of college, I drove around leasing up homes and condos for a few hundred a month, and then a lease up fee, and then ended up moving into all the different levels of property management. Obviously, in that same firm, homes and condos, then moved into commercial. Then, you just, as you continue your journey in property management, hopefully you're kind of working on bigger and better projects that are exciting: shopping centers, big industrial buildings, office buildings, big apartment communities, as well as giant portfolios of single family homes and condos for syndicators. So I did that for a long time. And then ended up partnering with someone, had our property management firm. And then, just like brokerages have the ups and downs, management can be very steady and really good from a growth perspective. But when you're looking at adding product, what can you do? Okay, brokerage would be a good one. So we went out and we partnered with someone else, and then brought a global real estate company franchise into the San Diego marketplace. So then slowly throughout the process of the years, I ended up buying out my other partners, and then had a property management and a brokerage company. And we did well. We did well. Ended up selling the brokerage right before COVID. So timing sometimes works out well. Had the management company, still have the management company in San Diego and Los Angeles. And then, of course, the referral company for being able to help clients nationally. So that's, and then I met you, as you said, James, through through kind of the Sperry connection. And we've been friends now for a long time. When you made your journey over, and took on your new challenge, I went over, like a lot of people that know you, and joined you. And then we've got, and now I know Jeff, and I appreciate all that backstory, Jeff. I didn't know all of that. So that's kind of great history for me to take in too. I didn't know all those pieces, kind of link some things together for me. So yeah, so just excited to be here and work on Renaissance with both of you and the whole team. I think it's going to be amazing.
Well, and as everyone can see, it's all relationships, part friendships. It doesn't always go to the pace of sometimes when people join, I want to get a referral right away, right? We all know why you join or volunteer sometime, but the more you give, things grow. And as I asked Jeff to help me grow a new brokerage when I was slated after running a franchise organization to running a corporate, different from franchise, right? There's different structures of real estate and real estate brokerage companies. But there are service companies and other parts of commercial real estate, like Scott running property management, not the sexiest of business, but property management, asset management, residential commercial is key and critical and vital if you are an investor to make sure you're running it right. And as Jeff mentioned, he was one of the early ones that started real estate technology with Mark Kingston doing Argus. I mean, there's just so much. And then Jeff acquiring these companies, because I know when you got REI Weiss, I was going to buy into REI Weiss. And then they were supposed to merge with LoopNet, but LoopNet got bought out by CoStar. So if you've been in this business, there is really no secrets. We all know what's going on. We just keep our mouths zipped, as we all should. And we just do deals, and it's always friendly competition. But when everyone can come together, as when Jeff brought this vision of, hey, what I was doing at NAI, this is NAI 2.0 or 3.0, on the service and everything else, it got super exciting. And to open it up to everyone, so independent firms or one-off brokerage could now plug in, or product specialties that just maybe focusing on one group could now diversify into so many. And just remember, commercial real estate services is non-RESPA in the US. Most of the world is already non-RESPA. People can share fees, obviously follow rules, but US is the most restrictive but most mature market for all of us to do business. And Jeff, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about uh, Renaissance, putting this all together with the tech, because I know with you owning and running RealNext, I run ReSAS, and that's about 800,000 residential agents, probably the largest one after the change with NAR. We hope within this group, what everyone wants to do, and we learned this from Fred Schmidt, who was president of Coldwell Banker Commercial that we're working with, in addition, Jeff, to your good friend Jerry Anderson, that ran Scott's old company too, Sperry Van Ness, back in the day, to put in education, mentorship, as Jeff said, the technology that you need to be successful at the right cost, the services that you need. But the big thing is everyone wants referrals. So we hope with this platform, there's many ways to get real estate referrals, but also service fees too. But Jeff, do you mind sharing, since I know as we put this together, you're back in the
If I can
seat.
share the screen, like if there's a quick deck that we have, maybe I can share a couple of slides that might help. And see if we've got that.
And Jim, in the comments, I went ahead and posted the Renaissance main page and the membership sign up page.
Perfect. And it is free to join meetings and listen and learn before you want to plug in. It is a group that everyone's been friends, but I'll let you share after Jeff a little more of the different partnerships and groups that we have and committees.
Just real quickly, I think that's a good point, Jim. We want to be an open community and open to the industry and enable people to tap into services and share and learn and hear from each other, find best practices and uh, different new trends and initiatives that are taking place. So you can join Renaissance for free and hear about things and learn about things, but to really get the full value, there's a small monthly fee to join, and then you can actively engage and participate in the referral network and have access to all the tools and the resources that are available. So think about it as just a consortium of independent commercial professionals around the world that have been vetted to know that you have quality of trust and competence and people that you can do business with, and then we'll begin to organize those people into teams and groups that Scott will talk more about from a specialty practice standpoint to connect people and to help you become more than local. And many of you are, if you're part of EXP or could be part of NAI or KW or Caldwell Banker, whatever it is, you have a network of firms, and that's great. But this is going to be a much larger network of tools and resources from other companies that you would get to know and be able to tap into and to participate with across the world, and more importantly, to do it with people that you can get to build bridges of trust and confidence in, and have Jim or myself or Scott or others that are part of leadership to help you connect the dots and help you understand. Like if you need somebody in um, Vienna, for example, Paul Danks, who's a former partner of mine at NAI, is now heading up Europe for us, and he's heading up SIOR across Europe as well. So he knows everybody across Europe that's of quality. So and can help translate. And Steve Atherton, who was Asia Pac, same thing. It can bring us access into that part of the world. So trust, and Caesar, who's part of, many of you know, as a Latin America team, Ellen as a Canadian team, and we'll have more members in those parts of the world coming together. So the international network, the technology that will connect us all, the brand that, again, if you're a paying member, you'll be able to use in addition to your primary brokerage brand. This will be a brand that you'll be able to use to say that I'm part of something bigger, larger, and it gives me access to the world. I can promote my listings across the Renaissance platform. I can promote myself, my services across the Renaissance platform, and I can let my agents know that, or my clients know that if they work with me, that it's a badge of trust and confidence and quality that they can depend on, and they can get additional value and services that they might not otherwise be able to get. So for you as members, global exposure, referrals both in and out, um, access to knowledge and best practices, the brand enhancement that you can take advantage of. And we have a series of strategic partners that will want to work with you. So it's a two-way street where you're going to be able to tap into our strategic partners for services. And as they need brokerage or local market intelligence, they'll be able to work with you to bring you opportunities and leads and business to talk about. Just a few of our current as we launch partners. Value Strats, a market leading valuation, advisory, and brokerage capital markets firm out of Dubai, but services across the Middle East. Cyril, a pan-India brokerage with 35 or more growing regularly offices across India. So we've got great depth and capabilities anywhere in India. 3PL, a European logistics firm, and that's run by Paul and the team there. They have brokerage capability as well as logistics and corporate services. Chesterfield Faring, a merchant bank and capital markets firm that can provide very sophisticated modeling for either structured debt, equity capital, capital raising, and come in with both the full stack and work with you to support any capital markets needs. Jim and his team at EXP, Renaissance EXP Brokerage, which many of you are part of. It's part of the group, so we're working to help that group grow and support that growth. Pirat and Associates is project management. So if you need project management for any of your tenant rep or leasing assignments for build out of projects. And we've got corporate services, corporate site location pending, sustainability and design. And you'll see a couple of larger organizations to expand our network, our contractors, closers, and the global chamber, which is on the next slide. We have a business brokerage team through the empowered business brokers that you might know of, TransGlobal, and Scott's driving our property management engine. So a lot of additional services and access that you have, as well as tools and resources and beneficial access and preferred member benefits from RealNext, which is the full all-in-one suite for commercial real estate technology, from CRM, financial analysis, presentation, marketing, CRE Marketing Hub, which is the AI tools for strategic planning, strategic marketing, targeted marketing, persona modeling and negotiation strategy. And basically you're on 24/7 on your shoulder coach and mentor, picks for valuation and visualization. I'm sorry, not visualization, not valuation. Visualization for 3D modeling, virtual tours and aerial videos. And Recess, Jim's community building out with hundreds of thousands of people throughout the world that you have access to and have access to you. E-media to further market your listings. One more deal, we're putting an incredible program together for coaching and training. They'll be providing a series of four coaching sessions for all the team members, and then provide a private coaching session for select groups that want to participate in. The NCRA for training, Upflex for workspace, Interclave, energy tools, and Global Chamber, which I mentioned. Jim, you can probably provide a little bit more insight on that, but access to the clients, some of the end user clients that we want to tap into. So when you have new, unique projects or services that are perhaps appropriate for certain of their groups, we'll be promoting the Renaissance capabilities to help those people that need real estate services find you and tap into you when they need it. So that's just a quick, I know we're running short on time, Jim. I don't want to go too far, but you asked me about a couple of summits that are coming up, which I can briefly mention. We do have an AI summit, so anybody interested in AI might want to learn about this, and I can get you a link, but make sure I get to the right page.
And Jeff, I'm looking forward to seeing you and many other friends in Houston when you put this
Right.
on. So it is exciting.
Yeah, so we like artificial intelligence, but we really like it to be real. So we sort of think about artificial intelligence becoming real, and how do you take your knowledge, industry best practices, bring it all together and put it into practice. So it's not just the AI tools, but it's how do you apply those tools to help you grow and win business. So we have a 2-day forum in Houston, February 5th and 6th. If anybody's interested, let me know and we can get you. If you haven't been, you should have received invites to it, but if you haven't, let me know. So it's an incredible roster of professionals, a couple of professors that are just thought leaders at the highest level of AI and how it's used, and CCIM trainers and uh, brokers that are involved in applying technology. And so the forum will be 2 days of both instruction, but more importantly, use case workshops where the group will be broken down into uh, by specialty depending on the demographics in the room, tenant rep, leasing agent, multifamily, logistics, other subgroups that will say, we'll sit together and work with one of these experts to talk about our strategic planning and research, talk about how do we engage with clients, model clients, and understand personas, and how do we use AI to uh, put together property profiles, underwrite, and target our marketing. So it's going to be really hands-on with detailed focus on how do you find, win, and close business. You want to take a picture of the QR code, you'll have access to a website with a full agenda and details on registration if that's something that you're interested in. And one more thing, I think I can jump to it. I'm not 100% sure with this, but tell me if I skip back to the PowerPoint.
Not yet, Jeff.
And
Still
so
on the
I need
tour.
to stop share and come back again, the way this works. I'm going to be presenting at a session. Is that still not sharing, right? In Puerto
You just
Rico.
showed it.
It did show? Okay.
Yeah, you could show it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, it's not showing right on my screen, but with Tom Trong and a team, we've put together a 2-day event or 3-day event in Puerto Rico to talk about commercial real estate technology, commercial real estate best practices. Keith, I think you're going to be there presenting, so that's great. And uh, I'll be there. Tom will be there, a host of others. But there's also a day on tokenization and some other uh, very incredible and exciting new ways to raise money and create liquidity in the market. So if you haven't already registered for that event, you should take a look and consider attending the EXP sponsored commercial real estate and tokenization event in Puerto Rico. I'm looking forward to that. So that's Jim. Anything else? I know we're
No, that honestly, Jeff, that's a lot, but that's why using the Renaissance and we all knew commercial real estate is all over the place, but it's really who you know having access. And this is where Renaissance, we wanted to put an industry calendar. We know ever since COVID, everything kind of went virtual, but virtual doesn't replace meeting people in person. That's why meeting people in person still really boosts, especially if you're a high performer producer. We all know we've met the people, but you still have to show up. I know Max and others, right? CCIM, they still show up. Those that have been showing up, keep showing up. Those that show up for SIOR or IREM or FIAPSI or ARIA, just all these different trade groups. It's great to do this visual. You can get to know people, but you got to show up. And Jeff, with the tokenization, with the AI, and I'll see you in Houston. I know, and even there's another one in Miami with cryptocurrency with tokenization, and we mutually met our other friend. I'm meeting him on Thursday for tokenization of a large project in Bellevue. So each one of these groups, it's knowing where to go, how to plug in. And I want Scott to share, the calendar so everyone could register to see the calendar of events. There's some things that are free, some things that you got to be a member. But as Jeff mentioned and said before, you got to be part of a community. So being part of Renaissance will allow you to say, I'm part of this network, larger group. So you yourself may not, or your team may not be so big, but with this network, you have people to co-list, refer, plug in, because I guarantee, and I always brag and say this, Jeff, with you and your friends, and I'm the next generation coming up, is you look at this deck and everyone will say, I know this person, I know this person. And what they're going to do in this age of technology and LinkedIn, they're going to look and call that person up. Guaranteed. They're going to ask, do you know this person? Who is this person? And if you don't check out or part of a community to build that reputation, you're probably not going to get the business and not know why. But Scott, do you mind sharing all the information of how to kind of sign up and the different product specialty and maybe some partnerships and tease people with other partnerships we're working on?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So in the chat, and I don't know how this will work on the recording as well. Maybe it can go in the description of the video, but I put the link to the website for the general information website for Renaissance Global Network, as well as a direct link to the membership to sign up. And as Jim said, for right now, you have access to some of the meetings and a lot of the opportunities still to learn and to interact and network with other professionals. But in order to really dive deep and get into a lot of the real benefits, what you can take advantage of through Renaissance, that'll be through the membership. And we'll roll more of that out here in the next couple of weeks with the deck just about that, pricing just about that, the benefits, and walk you through all of that. I think one of the exciting things you might be thinking of and want me to talk about, Jim, is the product specialty groups and the different groups in general, not even just on product specialty. For instance, Todd runs our AI committee, and that's become a fast favorite just because there's so much going on. So every month, and that may go every other week, we'll see what Todd can do. There's certainly enough content on that. So we currently have our AI committee. We have our deal exchange every other Tuesday, and now we're powered by Jeff's group. So we're in good hands there, and that's going to only continue to grow in deal size. So definitely tune in because there's going to be deals there for you as well as opportunities to present. We'll walk you through how you're able to present the criteria for that on another call as well. So we have our deal exchange every other week. We have our AI committee. We also have business brokerage committee so that not just real estate, but also the businesses out there can connect, refer to one another, grow your pipeline, your network, and all of that good stuff. And then we have we also have our young professionals committee, which is amazing because we always need more young professionals. So for all the people out there that are either new to the industry or new to commercial or whatever finds you here, definitely think about the young professional committee if it's a fit for you. There's lots of other opportunities as well. For instance, coming up will be the capital markets group, and James will be spearheading that. We have the property management asset management group, which I will run. We also, which other ones? I know we've got, multifamily. So we bring multifamily as well. And then as we have rooms getting more and more full, because we always want to be able to have a little bit of deal exchange in there, what's wants and needs as well as all the information. We'll continue to break these up into smaller subgroups. So under multifamily, for instance, later we'll have a student housing. We'll just have the different segments of each of the property types. So first, let's all get together. Let's try to get 50, 60, 80, 100 in these rooms and really learning, really networking. These are going to be some of the opportunities, obviously, that membership will provide. So that's a little bit on some of those groups, Jim, that we have coming up, and we'll keep bringing more and more of those groups on board. We're all about value and quality, right? So we're not just going to put out 50 groups, and we're building it from a real solid foundation. And these are groups that'll be impactful, and you'll meet some good people in there.
And that's the main thing. You show up, you meet people on this. I mean, I ran Global Chambers event. We're starting to plug that in. 100,000 members, 605 metros. If you're in supply chain, import, export, development, finding HQs around the world, as things are moving around with tariffs, like it or not, things are adjusting. It matters. Also, Scott, what we're seeing on residential and commercial, the default, loans coming due. There's a default product specialty or specialty practice that we're going to start doing. I see Nelson, right? Nelson, we may do, ESG, right? It's still big in Europe, right? Maybe America, we're not doing it for a bit, but it's still big, right,
Well,
Nelson?
I like to say that that's where we started, but what we're really ending up is having value add strategies and solutions that are oriented in environmental improvements and the impacts that leads to in terms of incentives, tax benefits, and that sort of thing to really have a holistic view on value add projects. So that's kind of what I want to talk to you about, leading that strategy. I think we've got a really robust plan.
Well,
We
Jeff
should
and all
also
of
talk
us,
to Paul about the BE design and the sustainability work that they're doing and how you can tap into some of that the ESG work over there. And they're doing in the US as well as in Europe.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of resources to be to help people make a practical plan that they can use to make more money.
exactly. And see, this is where sustainability, using renewable, all that, is still going to keep going forward. We all know this, right? Technology, material goods, all of this is still going. So as we put, as Scott said, the specialties of what everyone's looking for, whether the market's changing, whether you need cost of capital, putting it together, experts, lawyers we're working with. I mean, there's just so many pieces we're bringing to the table so everyone could plug in, that you don't need to just call, or we always say send out a blast on social media or LinkedIn. I need this, I want this, is a way to use AI now to find and filter what you're doing. And a lot of things that I'm working on is I have about 5 other groups, maybe about 10,000 agents that Renaissance is going to help and assist plugging into build their commercial. So whether it's education, we all need mentors. So please reach out to Scott. More mentors, different companies, because everyone needs somebody to help guide them. I went to Marcus, so we had a system, but finding the right mentor, whether it's in your own firm or not, and this is the thing, we're all trying to help each other. And then using the tech, you get no better tech than RealNext with all the verticals, plugging with ReSAS and eMedia now. Now you have a whole ecosystem with referrals, ways to tap into services to really help your business to earn more money. Because a lot of times with the higher interest rates, people weren't making money. It was very tough, right? We all know since COVID to interest rates hike to just how the economy is running to tariffs, it's been a long 5 to 6 years now. So all of us need to find, as Jeff's bringing a lot of his friends and services like site location or different ways, everyone wants to run their properties or acquire properties or get capital more efficiently. Now there's ways to make more money, more income, that you're not just transacting. So within all of these groups, everyone has a rule of engagement. You got to sign up as a member because you're going to get the free stuff. But once you're in, to get kind of the network marks, things that you can use to share and show that you're part of this larger organization globally. The technology with the speed of light, you can connect, interact, find deals. Because a lot of times they call Jeff, they call Scott, they call me. Do you know somebody? Do you know? I get literally, I don't know how much you get, Jeff, at least 5 or 10 a day, 5 at least. Do you know this? Do you know that? Do you have this? And it's tough, right? Because it takes time to do the introduction and stop. But if we have technology with people we trust, being transparent, a lot of this could be flow through. And many people want to do more deals, want to get referral fees or just fees instead of commissions. There's so many things that we can put together. And Scott, since there's a freebie on it, we're also looking at, if you're introducing people to Renaissance, about earning a little extra when they use some of the services. So that will be put out, but at least it can't hurt being free in the beginning on certain things, is to share and plug in so you get credit, because on the join app for Renaissance, it does say who introduced you to it. And once we track it and work out the numbers and how this works, it's something extra, right? Or at least it could be a thank you, here's a free membership at the worst, right, Jeff? We can do something for you when you introduce and grow really your network of volunteers and people around the world. But it's really a solid group of individuals that have been in the industry. Jeff, how's our oldest? How old is Jerry and them, right? They've been around 40, 50 years with Fred and Jeff. Oh, you're muted, Jeff.
I was gonna say they've been around even a little bit longer than I have. So
Yes. And see, that's the credibility of being part of an organization group. This is why you join CCIM or SIOR or FIOPSI or something, some organization. And many of us, we've served, led, have been a part of all those organizations. And with this group, we obviously police within the group, making sure that you're credible, or at least you follow rules if you're new to learn. And if you don't fit, we really don't need you or don't want you there, because you hurt everyone's reputation. We all know when you join different brands, there's always somebody in your firm that does something screwy, but we want to make sure we will have the highest caliber of trust, relationship, friendships. As you can see with Jeff and Scott, it's a small world and we keep running into each other. And that's the beauty. Jeff, you want to add advice on what you see and really why you should join Renaissance, especially in this time and age?
Let's see, make sure I'm mute. So I think it's hard and harder to compete alone. It's very difficult, and there's so many people that are sort of you're a commercial agent. You might be a commercial agent at a residentially oriented firm, and you don't have all of the tools that the other firms might be able to provide. Um, so being part of a community that you can lean on and depend on and collaborate with and work together as a team and to be uh, leveraging one another for relationships, for best practices, for advice, counsel, and guidance is valuable. To be able to be even bigger than you are within your brand is valuable. To magnify that and amplify that. To be able to do business globally is valuable, and to be able to recruit or import business into your pipeline is valuable. So it's all of those things. I think it starts with knowledge and market positioning, and then access, and then collaboration. And over time, it's not just about referrals. And we found that the most effective platform benefit of a group like this is how do we collectively share our expertise in one of these specialties? So it's multifamily, not just do a deal exchange, but to say we are, uh, I am part of 100-person group, and here's our resume. We've sold $10 billion worth of property. We have access to every major institutional buyer and all of these private client groups. And if you list with me, I can target it right into the right person, get you more money faster than anybody else. So the ability to aggregate knowledge, market access, and relationships, and to be able to position yourself as part of something that's bigger and more valuable to your client, whether it's by using the AI tools, using technology, but all of that is fed by people and real relationships and real practical knowledge of how the business gets done and how do you negotiate and work through a pitch to win business. And maybe it's bringing 5 people, your partners from around the country or around the world to a pitch. Say, here, we want to be your team to handle all of your business rather than me just handle your local business. So collaborating, cooperating, and building, I would call it the SWAT team or units that go after and share both presentation and process workflows to execute more efficiently. So
You
that's
know,
where
and
we're
Jeff,
headed. That's what we're building. So it's not all there yet. It's all coming. But as we work together and the team grows, we'll be able to put the pieces together to make it all happen.
and Jeff, I'm excited with you and Scott in the backbone and so many friends, as all of us know, everyone's excited to be a part of this. And in this future, it is the technology and AI as the, I would say, skeleton. All the people are the heart, the muscle, the brains, the relationships, the people with the connections, like the product special, like the corporate services with Fred Schmidt that ran CBRE's corporate services and ran Coldwell Banker Commercial. There's so many that you can plug in. So when you grow as an individual to learn, to grow, to be bigger than yourself, let's say you have a team or a boutique or a franchise, you can plug in. We just have the rules of engagement. We're even running larger residential or different practices, plugging this in. So we're always looking to learn about the relationship, price you in. If you bring services accounts, whatever it is, there's a way to monetize and help everyone stay in the game. And many people here have done a great stint being in commercial real estate and real estate services to a point where they're in a good place. But from what I saw, Jeff, everyone that retired, they said, I'm tired of golfing. I'm tired of traveling. I'm tired of watching the grandkids. I want to get back in, but I don't want the grind when I was a junior broker, back in the day. You want to add something?
No, you don't want to you can get tired of getting retired. So you don't want to do that. You got to stay active. But I'd like to open it up to the group, Jim, if we could, to see if there's any
Sure.
questions. We've done a lot of talking. We do have a little bit of time left. And so any comments, feedback, perspective, things that you would want from a group like Renaissance that we can deliver, things that you think, great, that one makes sense, or maybe I couldn't take advantage of something that you mentioned as
Max
much.
has a question.
Yeah.
Jeff, I used Argus in the past, and I'm having difficult time getting hold of people that are actually in the enterprise out there to be able to help me and give me a price. Do you have any direct contact with somebody in sales out there? I love the valuation and the marketing tools that we used to set up as far as the income, and
Yeah.
analysis.
So two things.
Right.
Max, thank you for that. Both Demetrius and Mark used to work there, so I will check with them to see who they know. But
Oh, okay.
what Mark has done recently with Jeff Fisher, Dr. Fisher wrote the textbook on real estate finance and was one of the advisors to Argus. They have taken their institutional knowledge of how the modeling is done into our AI tool, and they've trained it to say, so you can say to it, here's my rent roll, here's my my assumptions. Provide me an Argus styled report, an executive summary on my project, and we give you the answer in seconds.
Oh my God.
Rather than you having to become an Argus certified and pay $5,000 for a seat or whatever it is. I would
Yeah.
test it, Max, and see if this might help you. So go to CRE Marketing Hub and you'll see the CRE mentor there.
Yeah.
You can ask it questions, and we do every Friday. You'll see when you get to CRE Marketing Hub, you can sign up for our coaching session every Friday.
Yeah.
Mark runs that. So if you join that on Friday, you can both ask him about a project and let's do the test on the AI doing the model for you. And you can say, okay, that's great, but I still want to have I want an Argus license. So, and maybe you can, he'll be glad to answer you there and direct you to someone, anybody that he knows. But I would say everybody
Fantastic.
come in and get a free trial. In the top right corner, if any of you are using RealNext, I know many of you are,
Yeah.
in the apps in the top left corner, there is a CRE Marketing Hub icon. Join through that and follow that workflow, and that'll give you single sign-on and the 14-day free trial. So try it out. If you like it, there's also then a discount to subscribe. Take advantage of that. And during this period, we have both the training this Friday, getting started at 2 o'clock Eastern, and then at 3:30 there's a coaching session. And then next week we're doing a mastermind with Ross Jones. So it's going to be a fantastic mastermind. So you can join either or both and take it from there.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other questions from anyone? I would just say for everyone any questions, but just to plug in, Scott, if you don't mind putting up the information again, reaching out to Scott, who manages as the COO. We're putting a lot of friends in relationship, backing it with technology, going global, but staying local, right? We all heard that because that's where the business is done. But this connectivity relationship at the right price, and that's the biggest thing. Technology has brought the price down, but you do have to evolve. And I'm so excited with RealNext and the collaboration in AI to put this all together. It really does matter. Ben, do you have any question? Benjamin, I saw you popped up on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. I am in Chile, so I just wanted to congratulate you because the information I have heard here is amazing. And of course, if any of you needs some kind of support here in Santiago and have any business or referral you need, I am available and eager to contribute with the business. Okay.
Benjamin, please reach out to us. Yeah, and plug in. Jeff, I know you did stuff. We were on some talks to South America.
Yeah, working on a large project in Bogota now. We've got some, we've got a lot of opportunities across Mexico, and I'd love to get back to Chile. I haven't been there in a long time or done a project there, but it's good to know that you're there and that we've got resources. So it's a very small.
Here, I've worked 4 years ago in CBRE, and 2 years ago I began in Newmark, and on more or less 3 months ago I decided to jump to EXP. So I know the business here. I have the experience and the connections with great projects, commercial and industrial projects. And if you have some ideas and really want to develop something interesting, I am available. I'm here. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Nice.
And this is the exciting thing why we're bringing the world together, scaling, growing, using tech. So many leaders, like a global chamber, we did it in Spanish today. So as this group keeps growing with different organizations, you're going to see an incredible amount of opportunities. We all know real residential, there's so many, commercial, there's so few, but all of us that came from the big firm that have been in this business long enough, everyone knows everyone. And that is the power and strength. There's nowhere to hide in commercial. Residential is a little different, but in commercial, we touch everything. And I always like to remind residential brokers too, and why you should connect with us, because what they sell with new product starts with the land, and commercials the land that we look at it, we find it, we scale it, we build it. Then the new home sales or the secondary market is what you sell. So all of us, we are very sophisticated when it comes to this. And you will see globally, we have so many friends, and locally we do. So, please reach out, sign up. You're going to see the calendar of all these events. I know, Scott, right? You're going to be populating more and more of all of these different events from the CCIM, SIOR. Karen, I got to give you a shout out for FIAPSI and your work globally. Karen, do you want to say a couple words? I'll give you a little time if you don't mind sharing, Karen. You might be driving, but with FIAPSI and what Karen does with globally and with NAR Global, there's so many friends, like I said, with different groups. Everyone knows each other, worked with each other, volunteered with each other. So that's what makes this such a fun community in commercial real estate. And we're really excited to get this and get more people to plug in, volunteer, refer, and build your business too. I mean, we want you to build your business and also have some fun. El Paso, Texas.
Yeah, so we're here in the border. So if anybody has any need for help right here in Juarez, so Mexico and El Paso, we go as far as Albuquerque, and have a team in Oklahoma, Albuquerque, El Paso, and Juarez. So if you guys need anything, let us know. Thank you for the invite today.
Yep. And please join us, because that's how we plug in. That's how we find who you are. And it will be organized in a commercial real estate product specialty, where you're located, where your teams, so we can make sure when we're servicing our clients, it's the best person for the referral or the deal or partnerships that we put together, because many people here, we are doing supply chain development, especially global chamber. And even with Daniel Chang, he's bringing so much business from China. He just doesn't know what to do with it. But money's going all around, and sometimes it skips the US, as I heard from other friends in Europe. They're skipping from Asia to Europe, Europe to Asia, or Latin or South America. So, wherever you have a relationship or connection, it plays. So, thank you for taking this time. Jeff, thank you. Scott, thank you. Jeff, thanks for always being that mentor of mine and supporting me on this journey and the new journey we're going to have, and all of you. But please register, join us. It doesn't cost you anything, and you may get a lot out of it. And I always say the best thing to get out of it is the friendships and relationships. So everyone, have a happy new year. See you next week. And let's build our community together in commercial real estate.
Thanks,
Have a great
Jim.
day, great week. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.